Hello, fellow Fumblers, and welcome to another episode of the Film Fumblers Show, the show where four friends fumble through your favorite films. Today we are reviewing Chef, a movie released in 2014 and directed by, starring, and written by Jon Favreau. So without further ado, my name is Adrian.
I'm Jay.
I'm Taryn.
What's up, guys? It's James. Welcome back. It's Tuesday.
Yeah,
Tuesday.
Not doing it live this time. I'm taking a very demanding class right now that's requiring my attention, so it's hard to sneak away. Worked out that we
Dude,
did it in person.
Those intercessions are no joke.
Yeah, it's
one
crazy.
time I had to do a math one, and it was like,
I would never
sweat,
take math.
dude. It was yeah, it was bad.
This is a theater class, and I was like, it's a theater class. I've read like 3 plays. The class started yesterday. Like,
Oh
it's
my
nuts.
god.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's just a lot.
So
of
they
math.
just like jam it all into like 3 weeks or
It's a
something?
full
Is that
semester jammed into 2 weeks. Yeah,
Holy shit. 2
Oh.
weeks.
so it's rough, but it's fun. I'm getting it over with. So, all right. Cheers to intercession classes.
Cheers,
Oh,
brother.
jeez, dude. Cheers.
Cheers.
I have this dirty shooter.
Ooh, wow,
Dirty shooter.
that was not good.
Oh, shit. You're not running out of shooters yet?
You kidding me, dude? You know how many we have?
No, I haven't seen the collection.
Too many. I could open my own like prohibition store.
You
They're-
can't
they're-
buy it anymore.
Yeah, they're outlawing them, you know? Or at least
Are they
here.
already? Like, can you go out and buy one right now, or are they officially
Um,
gone?
They're okay until they're
Don't know.
done selling them. Like, they're gonna sell what they have in after that.
Oh,
so.
yeah.
Wow,
Oh,
Yeah.
damn.
So
that's scary.
I got what you need.
All right.
What do you sell?
All right, Chef, Jon Favreau, directed, wrote, starred, everything.
Been a
That's
while
intense,
since what was the last Favreau movie we saw? Was it his shitty ass Lion King remake?
Yeah, probably.
Oh god,
Mm,
Wow.
that was an early episode. That
It
was
was like 3 or 4, wasn't it?
was it that
episode
early?
3. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh
Yeah,
my
that's
god.
right. That's so
Wow.
early.
So different.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very different movie. But just like from what he usually does. He usually does these like blockbuster heavy hitters, you know.
Studio shit.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that's kind of like, so I was reading a little bit about, Jon Favreau writing this movie. I think he said he wrote it in like a couple of weeks, like something like really short. And it was kind of, it was a little bit about his own life, autobiographical, where he was just like, felt kind of like maybe not as good of a father as he could have been because he was so busy with directing. And so, yeah,
And
probably
banging
not
hot
the hardest.
chicks.
Dude,
He
okay,
wrote it, man. He
we're
wrote
gonna
it.
get
remember?
into this.
So it's get into it right away, right off the top.
We talk about
What
how
a slime
comedians
dog.
will write a movie or star in a movie and then just like cast the hottest possible chicks that are just crazy about them.
Yeah.
What the hell, John? Like, wow.
Oh man.
Yeah.
At least it makes more sense in this than in like Forgetting Sarah Marshall or whatever else we talked about this in, because
Yeah.
he's like a
Yeah.
famous ass chef. Like, he's like a cool guy. I don't know. It's still dumb,
Yeah,
but it makes
yeah.
more sense.
He's even like connected to them in some way. Like ScarJo was in the Marvel movies, you
Right.
know, and he's like around
Yeah.
that. It's not just like
Yeah.
random, you know.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
first Marvel movie she was in was directed by Iron Man 2, I think.
Yeah. So he
Well,
was
yeah.
like doing all that stuff, getting all the cheddar, and then he's like, "All right, let me do this little
Exactly.
passion project."
Yeah, dude.
That's
bringing
exactly
all the
what it
homies.
was.
And that's like the plot of the movie too, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Who recommended this one? Was it who? Because I think it's what Jay and James always talk about it, or is it just Jay?
Jay
You
always
really
I
Yeah.
talk
talks
about
it.
this movie a lot, but
do.
Jordan was like, just do Chef.
Just do
Let's
it.
just
Yeah.
do it.
Nobody else has said anything. I really like that movie. There we are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the only
yeah.
the whole reason I watched it the first time last year or something was Jay just kept talking about it. I was like, all right, I'll watch this.
Jay
shit.
just wouldn't shut up about it.
Dude,
So this
I
one's
don't
for you,
even.
Jay.
Yeah, seriously, it is. I don't really know why, but I love this fucking movie like a lot. And like I've seen it probably like 15 times, and it
Holy
has not
shit.
gotten old. It's
You've
like
seen it that much? Jesus.
probably, dude. I put it on.
Not a
This is one of the few movies that I put on once or twice a year. You know,
Yeah.
like
Wow.
just to like keep it around. And I don't
Comfort
do that with
movie.
hardly any. Yeah,
I don't think
For
I've
it's
some
ever
not.
reason-
yet.
It's
For
less
some reason,
of
I
a
thought
thing
it
in the
came out so
background.
soon. Oh yeah.
It came out in what 2014.
2014. Yeah.
That's like such a long
7
time
years
ago
ago.
already.
Yeah.
It feels like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A long time ago.
No, it's engaging to me too. It's not only like put it on the background like The Office. It's like I'll sit down and watch it for real, you know. And I think it's because of what it's about, and like you know, now that I've had Sophia, like watching it again, it like hit differently this time,
Yeah.
you know.
Oh,
It's like the
yeah.
same, but it just keeps adding to itself. So I don't know. I think
No.
I have to keep it
And that
around.
makes a lot of sense. Like, I mean, we touched on it already, but like following that passion project, I feel like that would definitely really resonate with you. Just
Yeah.
with like, you know, everything that we've been kind of doing, not only with this show, but like with the other ventures that we're trying with, you know, doing more filming things and stuff. Like, I
Yeah.
totally get why you always have it on. It makes sense.
Totally, dude.
It does.
Totally. But the thing that I think I took away from it this time that was a little bit different was that it's like it's for the love of the game. Like he loves to do what he does, and he doesn't really
Yeah.
care the circumstances that he's doing it in. And in some cases, he's happier to be in the like worse quote unquote circumstance, you know? But he loves that shit. And like the scene where it really hit me was like when they're making the Cubanos right after they got the truck together,
Mhm.
and his son is about to serve the burnt one, and he's like, no, let's go outside. And he's
Yeah.
like, yo, I do this shit because I love this shit, and if you don't love this shit, get the fuck out of here, you know? And that, like,
my
I was
God.
like, damn.
Dude, I
like,
still
this
would
is
have eaten it,
fucking-
man.
I
would've eaten
know,
it.
I know.
It's like,
Yeah, it
but-
wasn't even that burnt. I was like, come on.
Yeah.
yeah.
But that's just it, you know? Like, he loves this shit, and if what comes out is not good, like, don't even serve it.
Yeah.
And I feel that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and his poor
But-
son is just like, I'm 9, and what is this? Why are you yelling at me?
Can we go get McDonald's, please?
But that was
Uh,
that aspect of it hit me differently too now, because it's like how do you do these things that you want to do the way that you want to do them, and like use it to connect with people, not only like as an audience quote unquote, but like as other just people that are helping you or near you, right? And so like thinking about this and having Sophia was like, yeah, I mean, how would you realistically make movies or whatever it is,
mhm.
you know, with this added element? And not only like not in a way that's like, oh, we have a child, like she needs to be taken care of while we're doing this, but like how do you integrate her into that too, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that could be like, it's totally possible. You see people do it all the time, but I think that could be really cool. And so taking all of that out of this movie was just it was like a different movie for me almost. But it
So
was
cool.
cool.
Yeah, I think to like stay on the whole, you know, relationship with the child, like I think that was done so well. That was probably one of my favorite parts about this movie was how, like, every time John Favreau gets his son, he's like, okay, let's go to watch a movie, let's go to the amusement park, let's go get ice cream, let's go do this, and like the time that his son is just having the most fun is where they're just sitting at home, like just having a conversation, solving a problem, and that just like I don't know, that was
Figuring
so
out Twitter.
that was so real, you know,
Yeah.
because like
yeah.
yeah, like kind of going through that as a kid, and like the time that you would
Divorced
go see
parents.
dad. Yeah, the
Yeah.
time that you'd go see
Right.
dad, it was just like, let's do something. You gotta have
Yeah.
fun with me, and it was just like,
Overcompensating.
right, and it was
little
just like,
bit.
let's just
Yeah.
be, and they
Yeah.
did it well. Like it was definitely wrote from experience.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
So, have you seen episode 3 of this season of Ted Lasso, Jay?
No, that's the newest one, right?
No, I think 4 is.
Oh, then yes, I have.
That whole part where they're basically talking about this. He's like, these kids, they're dumb. They just want to feel like they're a part of your life. Like, you don't need to do all this crazy stuff to like please them or whatever. And I was like, holy shit.
funny.
Yeah.
Watching Chef
Yeah.
again reminded me a lot of Ted Lasso. We can talk about that later, but it's like its own thing.
Oh,
But
Yeah,
interesting.
I can see that.
yeah,
That's a good comparison. They have the same kind of vibe, I would say.
Yeah.
The thing that I
Wholesome.
like, the biggest comparison for me to this movie was Old, because that was like one of the most recent ones that we did. Just because of the
Oh.
dialogue, like how different, how
Oh.
truly
Oh.
like this felt like people who are real
Opposite
and talking
ends.
and like speaking. Which
Yeah.
I guess it was like a lot of the scenes were improv that when they were in the kitchen because they wanted to feel like real
chaotic
kitchen
Yeah.
shit.
vibe
Yeah.
versus Old where it was just like robotic and not
Overwritten.
even human. Yeah.
Dude, they got
But
that
it-
down perfect.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Because they had you guys read Roy Choi was like the chef behind the scenes who taught
Yeah.
Favreau how to like actually be like a chef.
Mm.
So they got it down. They got it down right.
And that's
Yeah,
badass too. Like he actually trained to be a fucking real chef, you know?
Yeah, worked in a kitchen doing like really monotonous tasks and getting it down, like it I don't know, I've never worked in a kitchen, but every movie I see about it, or like even just reality shows where it's just like how cutthroat it is and like how fast paced and just how insane it is. But it was like it was captured well in this movie where I don't know, it really worked. Definitely worked.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they like it I mean, this movie always inspires me, which is I think why I rewatch it a lot. Is this kind of like gives me extra fuel to keep pushing or whatever.
Yeah.
But especially with this, like I made dinner tonight, so I was like, oh fuck yeah.
Oh, no.
And I was like, if they were filming me in the fucking kitchen, I'm like trying to cut a fucking squash, I'd look like a dumbass. So like the fact that he went out there and learned for real is fucking awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
He has
something I always
a
wanna get
show on
better
Netflix too.
Yeah,
Did you guys
Yeah.
see that he has the chef show? I watched 2 episodes yesterday.
Oh,
And he's
really?
with that guy Roy. Yeah.
I've seen
Oh,
all.
wow.
So
I've
what
seen
is
the whole
like
thing.
they basically just them two have a celebrity guest and they just cook and talk? Is that what the premise is?
Sometimes a celebrity guest, sometimes like a chef guest. Like they had like some famous milk bar pastry place that has all these different spots like in LA and New York City.
Yeah.
And so they made like some cakes yesterday, or not yesterday, but when I watched yesterday. And, but it's like it's super casual. It's just like it's weird seeing Favreau in that setting and not in the acting setting because
Yeah.
Is it that different?
Yeah, I was gonna
It's
say
that,
it seems
it's
is
that
it
different. He's
Yeah.
charming. See, I think in the movie he more rubs me the wrong way, but in like the actual real life, he's like actually seems like he's a decent guy.
Seems like the nicest guy, dude.
Not to say
He's
that
like
he's
a
like
nice
terrible
guy.
in the movie, but like he's just I don't know. His internal conflict is so at the forefront through the entire movie.
Yeah.
It's almost annoying to watch him because like everyone around him loves him so much and like is constantly telling him that he's this and that and like he's so great in this, but he doesn't believe it. And, like,
Perfectionist.
oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like it's I don't know. I guess I see myself in that too, where it's just like I don't love myself enough, maybe.
James, you're
I
great.
don't
You're
know.
great, James.
But it's just like it's fucking funny to watch it like from the outside, I guess. Maybe is what it
Yeah,
is.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh my god. But like in the real chef show, like he's just so chill and he's like super nerdy about like, oh, this comes from the acid, this does this and that, and like it's just you should watch
Oh,
it. It's
yeah.
different.
I want to check it out.
Yeah, it's great. And
Oh,
they
that's
like travel, make cuisine in like different parts of the country. Sometimes no, maybe they don't go out of the country.
What's the
They have
show
a
called?
Gwyneth Paltrow episode I saw.
Yeah,
Oh,
for
it's
you,
called the
Jay.
Chef Show.
The Chef
Yeah.
Show?
I skipped
Yeah.
that one.
That's
No,
nice.
Those fart flavored candles. She shows you how to make them.
that'd be terrible.
Oh my
Oh
Wait,
gosh.
my
what is it?
God.
No, it's what is it? Her vagina?
It smells
Well, I
like,
don't-
yeah, her
Yeah.
vagina,
Yeah.
apparently.
But I wouldn't be surprised if fart
Ah.
flavored candles were next
Oh
up.
yeah,
Oh,
they're probably out there.
the
Well,
keep
yeah, like
score.
that, like what you're saying a little bit. The scene that resonated with me on was when it's right that the day after that critic comes in and tears him up, he goes in there and just starts fucking making whatever, right? And then his
Yeah.
homies come in and they're like, "What is this?" And they taste it and they're like, "Holy
Yeah.
fuck, this is good." And he's like, "You like it? Tell me the truth."
Yeah, he
motherfucker."
like won't
Yeah,
believe them,
yeah,
dude.
yeah.
Like even he is like, "I know this is probably good, but I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't have it enough to be like this is bomb here, you know?"
Dude, and being
And
in
I
like
feel
the
that.
in the movie industry too, if he has like a little bit of that in this movie, just like being
Yeah.
surrounded by yes men
Yeah.
all the time, you're just like
Yeah.
you don't fucking actually know if it's real, you know?
Right.
Which is kind of weird. But that scene disappoints me a little bit in the end because it seemed like he was making like something fucking crazy with like the gochujang, which is like that
Mhm.
Korean chili paste, and like looked like he was making like duck or something. I was like,
Mhm.
oh fuck. And then like when he just does Cubano sandwiches, I was like, oh man.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
don't get me wrong. Okay, I like Cubanos and everything, but I was
Yeah.
just like, I don't know. I was like expecting like some fucking crazy shit. Like I don't know. Like
Yeah, some really
so
like
going back, I
gourmet.
was just like, oh, what happened to like the crazy shit? I don't know. But
Yeah.
Can you do that in a truck?
maybe that's
I
my
don't know.
only
Is it
real
enough room?
gripe. Yeah.
Yeah. One thing that I found kind of funny was how like in the beginning of the movie, his ex-wife is just like, "Oh, we should go back and we could start the food truck." Like she's trying to. It's like, "No, no, I'm not gonna do that." And then like 30 minutes later, he goes out to Florida with them and he's like, "Fuck it, let's just start a food truck." Like he's just instantly like, "Ah, okay, let's just do it." Like there's
Yeah.
no convincing. He's just like, "Yeah, this is what we're doing."
Yeah. I liked those little things though. Like the one that got me was when he like plans the fun day with his son and it's like a 3-second mashup of like roller coaster.
Yeah,
food,
exactly. Yeah.
popcorn,
Just
and
straight
then he's
faced
back.
the whole time.
Yeah. That shit was good.
Yeah.
And that was just like another thing with just how real this movie felt, even like the beginning where that's kind of early on, right? Where he's with his son and they're having that conversation. No, you need to eat a fruit. Like here, like have the fruit. That conversation between him and his son is just so real. And then the next scene, he's like, you can't get kettle corn, and then the next scene they're eating kettle corn, and it's just like such
Dude,
an
yeah.
organic, like
Yeah.
that's parenting, right? It's like, no, eat this fruit. Okay, it's easier to just fucking get the quick
Dude, and
Yeah.
that whole mini speech about that fucking orange, like it's a real piece of fruit. It's real. It's beautiful. It's like all this shit.
Dude, he was talking about that orange so much, I thought somebody was gonna die from The Godfather. I was like, Jesus.
Oh damn.
But dude, speaking of that, like, I love the editing in this movie because when I was going to rewatch it, I was like, fuck, I don't remember it being 2 hours. I was like, damn, it's probably gonna be boring. Like, whatever, I'll watch it.
Mm.
I'll watch some now. Watch it at work. I was just kind of being dumb about it. But like the editing is so quick. Like those jokes, like the two that you guys mentioned, like the day out and then like the whole speech about the orange, and then it just cuts to them just like eating. Like it's just so
Yeah.
quick. Like it just keeps your attention the whole time, dude. It's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of
And
a
even-
lot of the comedies like seamless like that. But go ahead, Jay.
I was gonna say that, like talking about editing, even the like Twitter and social media
Mm.
little
Oh, yeah.
overlays were like not
So
bad.
good.
Like 7 years ago, it's like you can't even really tell. It doesn't really matter, you know.
Mhm.
It feels organic.
Yeah.
And
It's
then
just,
the one shot that caught me, and I forget that it's there every time, is when they go to the iPad and the background is a TF2
Yeah.
heavy and the chef hat.
Yes.
You're
Yeah.
eating a
Like, yeah.
sandwich, right?
Yeah, eating the sandwich.
Yeah.
So
Man.
good.
that's funny.
That was good.
Do you think he plays?
That kid for sure.
That kid,
Or he
probably.
watches SFM probably. Where's it? Source
Somebody knew.
videos, whatever they're called.
Yeah,
Yeah.
somebody knew. Somebody on set knew.
But dude,
Yeah.
yeah, this movie is probably like the best portrayal of social media like in any movie. Like it's always so cheesy and like people are
Yeah.
talking with like numbers instead of letters, and it's just like so unrealistic. And this one is just like, nah, dude, it's not that complicated. Like, just type shit
Right.
in. I don't know.
And they
Yeah.
talk like real shit, you know, to each other. Like that's just awesome.
And like, I love the
Oh,
way
man.
that Jon Favreau plays, like the way that he like doesn't know how any of that shit works. Like, it feels so natural
Yeah.
and like genuine,
Right.
instead of like over the top and like, oh, fucking technology, blah blah blah. He's just like, oh yeah, I sent him a message, like personal message, or whatever. You know, he
Oh
just
god,
doesn't
the
know.
reply.
It's so
Yeah.
funny, dude.
Yeah.
Love that
was-
stuff.
Yeah.
And it was interesting. Like, what's funny about this movie is that there's not like when you're waiting for like something to like really boil over, like drama wise, that like conflict wise, it just like never really does. Like,
Mhm.
I don't know. That's what's like weird about this movie is that it doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't do what you expect it to do. It just kind of takes you on this journey,
Yeah.
get in the food truck, and that's it, really. I mean, I think it's more about that internal strife. That's where you're getting all the boil over.
Yeah, it keeps
Like
it on a
you're-
low simmer, I think,
Yeah.
throughout the
You're
whole
like-
movie.
Right.
You're like expecting Casper to like punch out Tony when he doesn't want to leave, like the restaurant and stuff,
yeah.
but that never happens. They like make up, like even he makes up with the critic at the end. Like it's just weird. Like I don't know, everything's like so reasonably grounded. Like it
And then they-
feels real. Like
and then
not-
they just
everyone's getting violent. Like nobody's
Yeah.
going in handcuffs because like that's not what you would do in real life. Like it's a
Dude.
fucking weird ass movie.
and they
It's-
start a business, capitalism wins again.
God
That's
damn it.
okay, that was the back of my- I was like,
Hold on,
okay,
hold on.
so now he's going back to another fucking guy with a restaurant and he's being backed, and what if he fucks up along the line? It's gonna be the same fucking thing. Now he's gonna
That's
get a
part
food
two.
boat. He's gonna get a food boat next time.
Ooh.
Damn.
Yeah.
Dude, okay, I don't know. I fucking love that about this movie. That like nothing crazy goes wrong. Like,
Yeah, I liked it. Yeah.
Yeah.
there's
I
not
liked
enough
it.
movies that are just feels good, man, like this is. Like, it's so weird that nothing is it's so uncommon. That's why I thought of Ted Lasso so much, because that show is that a lot.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
And like, you think something's gonna go bad and you're like, fuck, dude, I don't want these characters to like go through shit, and like it just feels so bad when if it did, and then it doesn't, and you're like, okay, cool, like I feel good about that still.
Yeah.
Like, I always,
Yeah.
every time when they go out in New Orleans to go get, what do they call it? I don't know, the dessert, and they come back
beignet.
and
Oh yeah.
oh my god, his friend or whatever is like, oh my god, where have you guys been? He's like freaking out. I was like, I'm always like, oh fuck, what happened? I don't know. And there's just
Yeah.
like,
Truck's on fire, shit. Like
yeah,
what-
there's just like, look at
Half
this
of
long
these
ass
things.
line, baby, and you're like, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
dude,
well, I
we
mean,
need to
you
get
think-
their freaking son on our social media manager team. Like
I know.
my
he's
God.
always
Well,
fucking on it. These kids, man.
But
How
it
old
helps
are
that
they?
he was
We-
already famous chef. We're not famous.
Yeah.
anyways.
Totally.
Oh man.
No, I mean, you got to think, right? Like, he just came off of literally 2 Iron Man movies. Like, he's seen fucking explosions and rockets and bad guys for like 5 years.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
true.
But it's
wanted
$11
to
million
take it away from that.
budget.
yeah, a small
Yeah.
budget, a return to more of like an indie style. I think it was cool.
Yeah.
And there isn't a lot of things like it. I think that's why I like it so much. Is like, it doesn't, it's not like this big old journey, but it kind of is in some ways.
It
and
is, yeah.
Yeah.
If you connect with it, like it'll get you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not gonna like blow you away. And like after I watched it, I wasn't thinking like, yeah, oh my god, this movie changed my life. You know, like maybe like some other like crazy blockbuster like The Godfather, you're like, I'm a different person now. But this one made me like afterward. I mean, Jay's watched it over 15 times. You know, I'm sure it's definitely changed how you look at things and like how you think about things, you know. Seeing it that many times, but it's just that slow burn, like where you're like, just a normal story about a guy pursuing his dreams.
Right, right. And I
Yeah.
would almost say that it maybe, I mean, I'm sure it's probably changed, you know, the way I look at some things, but I think it was more like I already kind of had those feelings, but I never really had seen something that had put those feelings into like something I could consume. And
Yeah.
so seeing that and being like, oh, I understand this, like it was, I think that's more what does it for me. But
Ah,
like I said, it continues to evolve and I always get something new out of it. So yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of both for sure.
Yeah. This movie is
And it's
definitely
kind of,
inspiring, like you were saying, but it also
yeah,
made me feel like shit because I hate cooking, and it just looked so fun. It's so good, all the food.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I'll never do
Dude,
that.
I made a grilled cheese right away, right after
Did
the
you?
movie. I said, "Fuck it, we're doing a grilled cheese."
Dude,
I mean, that's all I had. I wasn't. I don't got no.
I went down
Cubano
to
stuff.
I literally after the movie ended, I googled Cubano sandwich near me, and like I was like, I need to get one.
Dude,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
That new, what is it called? Fuck. That new Green Jeans?
In Can Alley?
Yeah, I went there.
Yeah.
That's where I got a Cubano sandwich the first time. It was so good. And
Oh,
the Zucca
nice.
fries.
Ooh.
Oh my
They
god.
have
They're so
so they
fucking
have
bomb.
Cubanos at Canteen, and that's where I ended up going. But they didn't have they didn't have the pork loin or something, so they used something else. It wasn't amazing. I mean, I've had Cubanos there before, but
Mhm.
you know,
What was
no,
the
it's still
place you
scratch
got
that
one at,
itch.
Tan?
I don't know what it's called, but
What
it's in Tin Can Alley. It's like
Oh,
it's a little
okay.
because it's full of mini restaurant things, and like that's just
Right.
one of them is a little Cubano place.
It's
Frank's
not a
been trying to-
Bocadillos, right?
Huh?
It wasn't Bocadillos?
No,
Let me see.
I don't think so.
Is Bocadillos even around anymore?
Who knows, man? She's like famous now.
Oh,
It
those
She's on a
is-
sandwiches
bunch
are
of
bomb.
shows. yeah.
Guava Tree at Tin Can Alley.
Okay.
Guava
shout out
tree.
to-
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Shout out to Guava Tree.
Guava Tree is good. They got arepas there too.
Oh, all right, I'm there.
Yeah, they're
Never
good.
been. I'm
Easy.
sure it's great.
Not good as Vilma's, but they're good.
Okay. Yeah,
Gotta know
I'll
that.
take it.
Oh man.
Yeah, I mean that's the sign of a good. I don't know. Is there a cooking movie where you're not hungry afterward? Because
Waiting? Have you seen
Oh,
Waiting?
son of a bitch.
That
Not
was a
hungry,
perfect
bro.
answer, and it was so quick.
you just had that
Yeah.
ready. Like
I was gonna
disgusting.
mention it earlier, but oh shit.
Oh,
Movie's
God, awesome.
owl. You know.
Yeah, gross.
Oh, speaking of Iron Man before, what did you guys think of Robert Downey Jr.'s character in this?
I loved it, dude.
Loved it.
I really loved it.
He was so weird. He was
Yeah.
just like all over these different trains of thoughts. He was like the perfect Miami cokehead. Like I don't know.
He was in
so
it just
good.
long enough for it to be like funny, like the cameo of
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
big actor
Yeah.
to be funny.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it was so I don't know, it was so perfect, and it just I don't know, it just felt like Robert Downey Jr. was just like, oh shit, he's doing it. Yeah, I'll jump in, and like he just did, and just had a blast with it,
Yeah.
and then was offset in the second day. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Exactly.
1 or 2
And
days of shooting. Come on, man. Him and ScarJo. It's like, yo, come on.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Easy.
Dude,
Easy.
his
And they're
dialogue
like, yeah,
was
fuck it.
so funny, dude.
That's
The way
so
he would
good.
jump, like he was talking about like or like his secretary that he thinks he might have got pregnant, and then like the food
Right.
truck when he would just like kind of like switch to the other subject. It's like what the fuck?
Yeah, it was
So
so
fucking funny.
And then John Favreau's responses to those are like such like natural responses. Like, do you mean about the food truck? Like, because I don't really know. He's just handling it so awkwardly, and it's just like it's not witty, but
Yeah.
it needs to not be witty because it's so natural. Like,
Yeah.
that really
Yeah.
worked. That was the comedy I loved. There was one scene. It was like I guess, supposed to be a funny scene, but it was just so uncomfortable for me. The security guard or the cop or whatever on the bicycle taking
Oh,
the pictures
God.
with them.
Oh, yeah.
Why was it
That's gonna
so
lie.
long?
I
That
hated how
scene
long
is
it
It was
was.
definitely, like-
such a long scene. Me and Samantha were like, "What? They're still
Yeah.
using this." It
Very-
was so weird.
It's very out of place, and I don't
Yeah.
like. Maybe he's just homies with that guy in real life. I have no fucking clue.
Yeah.
But I think
Wow.
the goal was to be funny, but it just didn't.
Yeah,
It's definitely out of place.
it seemed like the kind of thing that they were just like, "All right, let's shoot like 10 different selfies this is going to take with them, and then the editors will just pull out, 8 of them." And then the editors just took that day off, and they were like, "We'll just run the whole thing." cares?
Oh my
Seriously.
god. And there was
Yeah.
still like a different selfie we didn't see in that at the end of the
Yeah.
movie when
Oh.
they like do all the 1-second clips.
Yeah.
It's like, damn. What the hell happened?
The scene before that when they're kind of cleaning the truck, getting it ready, making some stuff, but not really going like live with it,
Right.
That was like, it's one of the few things that I watched that reminds me of hanging out like with my uncles when I was young. But like replace the truck with a boat, and like we were fishing, and then they're making the fish. Like that was basically how it was. They're both
Nice.
fucking around with each other, like having beers. Here, have a little sip of this beer. Like all
Yeah,
of that,
yeah.
all of that shit. It was like spot on. So I think there's like a soft spot for John Leguizamo, especially because he reminds me of one of my uncles when he was young. Like he would
Oh,
joke in the
nice.
same fucking way. You know?
He's the man, and he's the best friend ever. That was
Yeah.
The total homie shows up in New Orleans, like, wow. Were they in
Dude,
New
not
Orleans?
not even a day had passed,
Miami.
and he came from
Miami,
LA.
Miami.
LA to
Yeah.
Miami.
Yeah.
That's not real. But anyway,
So I'm a sous chef now.
And
Anyway,
just,
I'm on
he
my
knows
way.
exactly
It's
where
not
they
real.
are. Shows up in the
Yeah, it's
taxi.
just like what?
I know.
It's
Yeah.
been like hours. Like what?
That's not real.
That's not real. There's no way.
Oh,
Dude.
God.
But when he gets out of that taxi, you're like, fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Like, and they start, that's when shit really starts
Yeah,
going
the
on,
way
you
the
know?
kid gets excited too. He's like, "Oh shit!" Like it's just
Yeah.
fucking feels
Yeah.
good, dude.
And that just
Yeah.
goes back to like the whole theme of the movie is like it's not about the money, it's just about the love for the craft. Because he was
Mhm.
just promoted to sous chef. And like he
Yeah.
finds out like he was it was the same phone conversation. He was like, I just got promoted to sous chef, and he's like, I'm so happy for you. I'm starting a food truck. He's like, I gotta go buy a fucking plane ticket.
Yeah.
I got a cousin.
Yeah.
That's insane.
But it's like one of those things where like you find the people who you vibe with on that thing that you do, and like
Yeah.
you want to be around them. Like it becomes less about like, well, I could go and make fucking, I don't know, Iron Man 3, which I'll do later, but for now I'm gonna go do this thing with people that I like, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Which
it's just
reminds me, I
different.
have a thing with iHeartRadio later on today. We'll talk about it. But no, yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, I
exactly.
totally vibe with that. Like us, you know, just really enjoying being around each other and like creating what we do, the little things that, you know,
Mm,
we do. It
Yeah.
just, it feels right, you know.
Yeah.
yeah. And I
Okay.
feel like that's, you know, that's it. It was it literally with the people who were in the movie, but like also in the movie as a plot point. You know, I don't know. So many of those
Right.
connections are just cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, but so you guys like what we do together. But did watching the movie make you feel bad when we shit on somebody's movie?
No,
Huh.
because they probably haven't seen it. But the baby did make me think of
They haven't heard
criticism
us
in
talk about
general,
it.
where it's like
Yeah.
it made me think of criticism in general. Like not exactly about us, but just
Yeah.
the way that people's jobs are on the line over fucking like critic ratings and stuff. It's bullshit, dude. Like he says in the movie, he's like, dude, we're trying our hardest out here. Like fuck you, man. Like it's so real.
Yeah.
I loved that fucking rant.
Yeah.
And I feel like when you're like a crafts person, right? Somebody who does a craft, like you know what's good and not good. Like you know when you make a piece of shit and then it sucks.
Right. Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah.
fuck, what do I do with this?
Yeah.
But like you know, there's a great saying by Ira Glass, funnily enough, like host of This American Life, where he basically talks about how like your taste and your skill don't catch up until way later after you start doing the thing, right? So like you have to produce that shit, and you know that you have taste for it. You know when what the thing that you love, you know, something that comes out of it is good, but trying to recreate that goodness, you know, doesn't it takes
Mhm.
years, right? Like you can't just produce something and be like, this is a masterpiece. Like you know,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
shit.
And that gives you
I think-
appreciation for the things you were shitting on, maybe, because you're like, I can't even do that. Or whatever.
Yeah.
Ah. Okay. Okay. Because when he was, yeah, I don't know, that whole thing, I was just like, damn, we're too harsh, man. On my homie M Night, dude. M. Night Shyamalan.
My-
If
no,
he
but
ever
I
hears
think
that, I don't want to hurt his feelings. Like
I think
how
there's a
He's
lot.
rich
Casper
enough
got his
already.
feelings
He's
hurt.
made some
Dude, if
great
I bet
movies.
him, I'd be like, dude,
Yeah, I
Old
know.
was so good. Blah, blah, blah.
See?
Wow.
See? Come on,
Coward!
You gotta
Coward!
tell him to his face.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I feel like it's a little different. I'll give you that. Yes, it made me feel in a weird way about doing this show, but it's a little bit
Yeah.
different in specifically with that, you know, example, just because we know what he's capable of, you know? Like
Yeah.
we've
Yeah.
seen other things that are quote unquote good, and old was
What are we
not
talking about?
good.
Oh, M.
M.
Night.
Night.
Talking about
M.
my
Night.
boy, still.
Yeah.
Mr. Knight.
Well, like, okay, so I feel like we're kind of on both ends of we're on both sides of that coin because we're critiquing movies, but we're also creating content for people to judge, right? Like
Yeah.
to put out there. People watch
To
our show.
create
Well, some
conversation.
people watch our show and they're just like, you know, I don't know. They could tell us it's shit. We've had, you know, some people on Instagram say some things, you know, like
They didn't
But
actually listen.
that's exactly it. Is like, you know, whatever you make ever is never gonna be 100% awesome to every single
For
person
everybody.
on the planet.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah,
everybody's vibe and taste is different, and like you just gotta find the people that vibe with your stuff, and then you're good, you
Mhm.
know.
Right.
But it starting out in making things, like even as like a young person, there's always that feeling where you like want everybody to like it, but the
Yeah.
reality is like that's just not, that ain't gonna happen, chief. It doesn't happen.
Put yourself out there, kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get vulnerable. Let
So
everybody
I think
see
that
ya.
it's critique is fair. Well, I mean, our critique is fair because nobody's losing their job over it. But like, you know, but I also get it. It does add like a weird dimension to the whole creativity like spectrum, you know?
Yeah.
Like you don't really create something for people to be like, oh, let me dissect this, and you know, it's not really what it's about. You don't think
Yeah.
of that while you're making it, but
Mhm.
Yeah.
it happens anyway. So it's gotta be weird, invasive.
Yeah.
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 That's
That's
so
a
funny.
deep one, James. I didn't think of that until you just brought that up now, and now I'm just like, shit. I was really harsh on Whiplash. I feel bad. Like they probably thought that was good. I hate it.
I don't know. That's what I immediately thought. What did you guys think about Mr. Dustin Hoffman?
Oh, Dustin
I was
Hoffman.
like, Huffman Dustin. That was
Dustin.
Mertz got wixed there. Dustin Hoffman.
He's the boss
He's
of
the
the original
restaurant
restaurant.
owner.
He's the
Yeah.
original
Yeah.
restaurant owner.
He's good. I liked. I don't know the points he was making. I was like, that makes sense, but I don't know.
Okay,
Dude,
see?
Yeah.
That's what's
That's what
funny
I
is like
thought.
when he was just like, we're sticking to the heavy hitters. We're sticking to things that people like. I was like,
Yeah.
this is good advice. Don't take risks on the
Yeah.
way the critics coming. And then I was wrong, like very wrong.
But like, okay, so like, and that's the thing is that there's that one person, the critic, out of all these people who continually tell you that you're great. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
why, if it ain't broke, don't fix.
Yeah.
Like,
I really took some time on that scene this time around
Yeah.
for some reason. And
Yeah.
the notes that I wrote was that the comparison to the Stones tickets thing, you know, you want them to play
Oh yeah, the hit.
Satisfaction.
I remember.
That's
Sorry.
it's a hard thing to compete with that. Like what do you say
Yeah.
to that, you know?
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
it's the thing. Like somebody who is criticizing a thing is somebody who's like deep in and like a big fan
Right.
probably of that thing, right? And so
Yeah.
if you're playing the hits, like that's not going to appeal to the critic
They
in
want
the
those
same
deep
way
tracks. Yeah.
that a B-side or a deep cut that's even, you know, live, do it fucking live and change it, which is
Yeah.
like a risk, right? Like it could suck balls or it could be awesome,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yeah.
That's what they're there for. That's what they want to
Yeah.
see. And so from his perspective, it makes 100% sense. I own this restaurant. Let's play it safe, play the hits,
Yeah.
and everything will be fine, which
Yeah.
makes sense. It's logical, but like, it's not in that creative world where
I know.
It's
you've got
not-
the creator and the connoisseur. It
Yeah.
gets weird in that.
It doesn't
dimension,
make
Yeah.
sense
you know?
for his character, like, because I don't
Yeah.
know. Dustin Hoffman makes it sound like they're out of fucking Chili's. They're like, no, everyone wants the fucking regular bullshit. But like, that's not what Jon Favreau is trying to do. So maybe that wasn't the place he should have been in the first place. You know what I mean?
So I think it was already implied that he had gave him a chance to with the sweetbreads. You guys know what sweetbreads are?
Mhm.
It sounded weird.
Pancreas.
Yeah.
Pancreas of like a lamb or goat or
Oh
something.
really?
Yeah. So
I
like
was
it's
hoping
like
it was a cinnamon roll or something. God
No,
damn it.
yeah. So like it's like way left field shit. And obviously it didn't work. So he's like, you know what? Like we're doing fine. We don't have to. Who cares about this critic? It might be a big night, but like, I don't know. I just thought that's what's so funny about this movie. Everybody's just so fucking reasonable. I think, like, it was just
Yeah.
like so fucking reasonable. And Alonso's like, you gotta take risks, but damn, I've seen so many freaking risky restaurants here in Albuquerque just like fall flat because they're
Oh,
trying
yeah.
they're trying to do way
Yeah.
too much. I mean,
Trying
I'm
to
sure that
reinvent
happens
the wheel.
everywhere. Yeah,
Yeah.
but like some risks, I don't know.
So it's complicated, I think, because even that night, the stuff John Favreau was saying is like, these people, like, this is the most reservations we've had in one night because they're here to see me. Like, they're here to see the crazy shit because, you know, the critics coming on and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
so I think that point that he makes flips it for me where it's like, okay, do the weird shit because that's why the people are here. But if it was like any other night,
Yeah.
then I agree with the
Yeah.
restaurant guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dustin
It
was a
makes
little
sense.
unreasonable there. That's when you would let him take over, but he's like, fuck it. It reminded me of Do the Right Thing, where the pizza shop owner's like, if you want
yeah.
white people, or if you want black people up on the walls, make your own goddamn restaurant.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, right? Kind of. Reminded me of.
Yeah,
reminded
like
me
start
of
your
that.
own. If you want to have this
Yeah.
crazy menu, start your own restaurant. This is my
Yeah.
restaurant. He goes into like, I pay for the napkins, I pay for her salary, I pay like,
Yeah.
this is my restaurant. You
Yeah.
just cook
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
You're the chef.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, the worlds colliding, which that's probably like straight out from a fucking conversation that John Favreau's have like with a producer or something.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
We want to do this. No. Why? It's too expensive. Fuck you. It'd be cool. No. You know that. whole thing.
Or even just like
Fans
just
don't
playing
like
it
that.
safe or something. You
Yeah.
know, like with these movies that people just know are gonna be successful. You know, like throw John Cena in a movie, like it's people are gonna watch it. You know,
Yeah.
whatever it is, name an actor, right? People are just gonna watch it. But those ones that like take risks, and I don't know, those are the I think those are the best movies. Is the ones that take those risks and it works, because a lot of them don't work. Like Old didn't work. I think it was a risk. It just didn't work. But I would
Watch
say a
Green
movie
Knight.
that I feel like took a risk, also A24, is Midsummer. Like I feel like that whole movie was a giant risk and it just worked. I don't know, you know. So
Yeah.
those are you could release something like to relate it to this movie is you could release a dish that's going to be good. You know, it's going to be a good dish. People are going to like it. You could take a risk and it could flop, or you could take a risk and it could blow everyone's fucking minds, you know? And
Yeah.
that's the difference of like having that art, you know, and
Yeah.
having that taste for going for the extra mile, you know?
For sure.
And that's
what
why I
John
was
Favreau wanted to do.
disappointed in the Cubanos. I was like,
Yeah, yeah.
it's fucking good, but I don't know. I was expecting to see some fucking scallop, fucking chicken turducken fucking
Yeah.
thing.
I mean,
It's a very
they,
simple sandwich.
What is
Yeah, it's just a
the
sandwich.
barbecue they get in Texas? That's kind of like that, right?
They were like
just,
sliders, weren't they? They weren't even.
I
like-
mean, I don't know. They're just
Dude,
like
but
yeah.
That's what.
no,
but like,
that's-
okay,
come on.
just making shit on the
James.
fly.
no, I'm sure they
You
were
got something to say
delicious.
about this. That's Franklin's barbecue. That's a
Yeah.
very famous.
Oh,
very
yeah.
famous.
Like, yeah.
But
That-
how are you gonna
that
take
was the
their
dude.
brisket and then sell it on your food truck? That doesn't make any fucking sense.
Well, that's,
Doesn't
that's
make
a
any
movie.
That's literally what.
I mean,
the
it's
kid
like going
says.
to the
You
market
could
to
buy
get
this at
fucking-
the store.
Oh,
He says
Oh,
that,
that's true.
and he's like,
Yeah.
you sure this
I
is your
mean-
son?"
I don't know.
But that's about the pork shoulder or whatever. they're
Well, what
Yeah.
about the fucking smoked shit?
doing. Dude,
I have
that's no.
smoker. I know.
That-
I know.
Where the fuck
Franklin's.
is
We
that?
couldn't. We
It's
couldn't even
gotta
go
be
to
damn,
Franklin's when we
right?
went to Austin because
Yeah,
it's
it's
too
probably
long of a
sold out.
line. Yeah.
damn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they sell out every day, and they cook every
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, they
like
sell out
16
before
hours.
noon every day.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Those
They smoke
beignets are
that shit.
overrated too. By
what's
the way,
that? What is that?
Have you had them?
those little donuts. Yeah, at that Cafe
Oh.
du Monde. I've been
Dufresne
there,
or
yeah.
whatever?
At that place?
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Really?
I've been to that place. Yeah,
And they
Overrated.
weren't good.
they're all right.
Wow, you're
The
just gonna
line's too
shit on
long.
somebody's craft? We just had this
I mean,
conversation.
Trying to get this restaurant closed down?
It's like a more dense sopapilla with powdered sugar on it.
These things hurt,
Incredible.
James. They
It's
hurt.
good. Oh, it's good, but the line. When you see the line, you're like,
It ain't that
That's
good.
that's it.
Yeah.
Even there was some like clown jester outside, and he's like, they're not that good.
Oh, wow.
You
He's
listen
like
to a
street
clown?
performer. He was just like,
Yeah.
he's like, they're not
He
that
was
good.
literally a
And I was just
cloud,
like,
dude.
oh shit.
Jacqueline says they're
Jacqueline says,
amazing.
no, they're amazing. Don't listen to James.
Oh,
They're
He's
they're
dumb.
good. I don't know if they're 45-minute wait.
Okay,
good.
this is the thing.
If you're
Anyways.
bonding with your son during that 45 minutes, is that good?
Fuck that kid.
But
Oh,
James
alright.
is the
Okay.
like food craft
Anti-hype. He's the
of,
anti-hype.
of us. No, his criticism lies in food.
Oh,
heavy,
okay.
And he'll
Yeah.
you know, we joke a lot that he's like, oh, it was okay, it was okay. But with food, he'll tell you when something's trash and when it's bomb. Like he doesn't ride the
That
line.
is true.
He doesn't
Wow.
ride the line.
That is true.
And
Dude,
what I want is James to cook me some food so I can see what's going on over there.
See, that's the thing is that I'm the critic. I would never challenge myself to a cook-off. I don't even know.
Dude,
how
we
to cook.
literally almost pulled a chef like 2 years ago. Remember at Steelbender?
Oh,
There was that food
shit.
truck across the street.
I know. We should have bought it. It was such a good price.
It was for
Fuck.
sale, and
there
we
was a
called
food
them.
truck
Yeah,
that was
Yeah.
like,
it
wow.
was fully stocked. It had everything already, a grill and even a sink and shit.
Clean.
And
We
we
didn't
called
even
them
have
and
to
we're like, how
montage
much?
clean it.
Yeah, it would have been ready to go.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Oh man. Oh
What
man.
would your guys' food truck be?
Not Cubanos. It would be fucking turduckins, dude. I want to be crazy. No.
Turduckins.
You see, but like that's the thing. Is like it's a food truck. You can't be crazy. But I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm sure you.
I
I don't know.
I like cooking. I'm not very good at it, but I like doing it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. That would be totally up to James. I don't know what the fuck would be on the food
No.
truck.
I don't know.
I can barely cut the squash that I made for dinner tonight.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, let's get into our rounding thoughts. Any big scenes we want to talk about before we get into ratings?
Okay.
Cornstarch nuts.
Dude, I was just gonna say
Maybe
that.
another drawn out scene. there.
I thought
Dude,
he
that
was
was a
gonna
good
go
bonding
worse.
moment. Sorry.
Oh
I
yeah,
thought he-
yeah.
Literally, dude, Gold Bond, sponsored by Gold Bond.
Oh gosh.
I thought he was gonna say like you can grab like the little chunks of it and pull them up and make hush puppies.
No.
But he fucking said you can fry your nuts with
Yeah.
it. That was,
That was
I
hilarious.
was, it was worse. I was like, I thought he was gonna like get
Hush
get
puppies.
the little chunkities that are all full of sweat,
Oh,
fry
gross.
them up real good. Yeah.
Oh.
What else?
When he watches the 1 second everyday video, that was a good scene.
Oh yeah.
That pissed me off because that was not 1 second every day.
It
Like,
wasn't. it was
that
still
would have
good.
been like 3 years. There was so many seconds in that fucking video.
The same day.
They were
Yeah.
gone
It's
for
like 30
12 or-
seconds of one day.
Yeah. No, but that was cute. And then just the bonding moment where they're on top of the van or on top of the food truck, listening to music. Music was a total
Oh.
vibe, by the way. Could
The
just
Yeah.
soundtrack was great.
Yeah.
really good.
Dude, he's tearing
Gary
up.
Clark Jr., dude.
What is that?
The
guy at
guy
the end?
who's in Texas playing the guitar. He's a real
Mm.
musician, Gary Clark Jr. He's awesome.
Yeah, I was there for it.
Okay, so
Yeah.
speaking of he's a real musician or whatever, how much do you guys, was there stats out there like how much of this movie is like real ass people? 'Cause I feel like most of it is like I
Oh,
didn't know
man.
that Texas place was real, so I'm assuming the guy that was sitting with them is like the actual.
That was the
That's
actual
Aaron
owner.
Franklin, yeah.
Yeah.
So like I don't know, it almost felt documentary in that way, which was really cool. Even though I didn't know
Oh, yeah.
what it was supposed to be or not, it just felt like it was, you know? It felt real.
Yeah.
Everything about this
Yeah.
movie felt so real.
They blur the lines with that, which was cool. And by the way, in the chef show, they go to Aaron Franklin's place again and
Oh,
actually
perfect.
get down on some real.
Oh
They
yeah.
do like a fusion thing, because Roy Troy brings a fucking good ass Asian cuisine, and they like mix it up with that brisket.
Ooh.
Nice.
It looks
Now that's what I'm
Nice.
talking about. That's
Yeah.
what I'm talking about.
That's the food truck James is behind.
Yes. Oh
Asian
yeah.
brisket.
Fuck my shit up.
Damn.
Yeah. Oh
Fuck,
yeah.
that sounds good. This movie made me really hungry. Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It really did.
Yep.
All right. Let's jump into it. Who wants to rate? Who wants to go first?
Give Jay the honors. This is his baby.
Should Jay go first? I feel
This is his sweetbreads.
okay.
I'm
Gotta do it.
yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah.
I mean,
We
I've
let
said
you go last time, and then you were just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
you're just
say
like,
all this stuff.
whatever. You were like, whatever, a 9.
Yeah,
Like shit.
I know.
Yeah, nothing has been said, Jay, except the hour
all right.
before this. But
Whatever, a 9. No, I'm just kidding. So I've said all of my like heavy hitters already, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's a movie that inspires me. I connect with it on like a, I don't know, I guess it'd be like a spiritual level of like somebody chasing something that's like hard and that you feel self-doubt through and that you're scared to like share it with everybody else and like all of those things. Like it's impactful in a way that keeps me like not feeling, because I would say that there's not really a lot of people out there who have that like, I think there's a lot of people out there who want to do a thing, but there's not a lot of people out there that will actually try to do the thing, you know?
yeah,
And that really separates like a lot. And so this helps me feel like, oh, there is other people out there who are this way too. And like, it's, you know, your feelings are kind of validated. And it just really like helps me, you know, keep it fucking moving, which is like really all you need to keep doing that thing. But and not only that, like it's like a good movie. Like it's fun to watch. It's not like this like high art slog thing. It's like actually enjoyable, you know?
Mhm.
So for me, it's like, I don't know. This is a hard one to rate because I think it's like
Yeah.
easily one of my favorite movies. Like no matter what happens in life, I'll always love this movie. But I don't know. Like, is it a Godfather? Like, you know, it's not like a fucking
Yeah.
classic, but it is for me, you know.
yeah, yeah.
So, like, it's like, I've never had to put this into a number before. It's like a 9.3 for me. I don't know. It's up
9.3.
there.
Nice. All right. 9.3 out of J. Who wants to go next?
Go. Me.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Dude,
okay,
I was the most interested on what you thought because you're like the food guy. So let's hear it.
I know it's weird. I remember specifically one time. I don't even think we were talking that much, Adrian. You like randomly called me, and I was like, "The fuck." And you're like, "Hey, I'm trying to go." Like it was like in high school, and I was like, "What is going on?"
yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And you were like, "Where should I go eat?" And I was like, "Oh, you were going to Santa Fe or something." I was like, "Oh yeah."
I
there's
don't
a
know.
couple
Yeah, I
places
think
I've
I
been
had
to.
a hot date or something, whatever it was.
Yeah. Anyways, fun fact. Yeah, this movie it was just like a wholesome delight, and it was a treat to eat the entire way through. No. Yeah, I thought it was just like such a refreshing movie compared to, I don't know, a lot of the heavy shit that we've been doing, I guess.
Mhm.
Godfather was too heavy, maybe. But like, damn, it's interesting to see Favreau do something different. I don't know. Has he done anything else besides like all the heavy hitter Disney shit?
Swingers is maybe the only other one I can think of.
Elf?
Is there another one?
Is that
He was a
Disney?
bit
I
He
don't
did
know.
Elf?
He
He
directed,
directed
Elf.
Elf?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
shit.
Wow. Did he write Elf?
No.
Banger.
Dude, that spaghetti candy in Elf?
Yeah, the syrup spaghetti.
um yeah, I don't know. It's just like it's just interesting to see like his range, I guess, with like what he could come up with and stuff like that. So that was like surprising, just like the entire time you're waiting for something dramatic to happen, but everyone's just so level-headed and you can kind of relate to almost everybody in the movie. You can relate to the manager. You can relate to wanting to be like the best friend ever and like supporting your homies, just dropping everything and being there for them, or just like going to chase on your dreams and stuff like that. But it's just such an interesting and real movie. I don't have a kid, but like just the dynamic between trying to like overcompensate so much, like in that relationship where you have to take him to fucking Disney World and all this stuff.
Mhm.
Like, did they end up going to Disney World, or they
No,
didn't,
No.
right?
the
Because it
son
was just
didn't want
like,
to because he was in it.
yeah,
He was in it.
yeah,
New Orleans.
yeah. I don't know. It just feels right. And I guess my only gripes is that he didn't go balls to the wall.
He didn't punch the critic. No, I'm just kidding.
He didn't punch the critic. No, I didn't even want that. But that was just like, it was so weird. It was so interesting. The little tweets were kind of cheesy, like the little birds flying
yeah.
away, kind of funky. But I think good, solid movie. 8.5
Okay.
for me.
8.5 out of James. Do you want to go next turn, or do you want me to take it?
I'll do it. Don't matter.
All right, go ahead.
So yeah, this is the second time I watched this movie. I thought it was gonna be boring this time. I was like, I don't remember that much happening, and like blah blah blah. And then like all of a sudden there was only like 10 minutes left. I was like, holy fuck, I love this fucking movie. Like it was so engaging again. I just, like I was saying earlier, dude, there's not enough feels good movies out there, and this one is perfect in that sense. Like sometimes you just need that. You don't need the fucking main character's family member to fucking die or some crazy shit, you know?
Kill each other.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, like it made me sad that I don't cook. The scenes where he was cooking were so well shot, dude. They made my mouth water like nothing, dude. I was like, holy shit, I don't even know what he's making. What is that? I don't know. Is that a duck? I don't know. But it looks fucking good. Something I thought that was interesting, I guess I didn't bring up, was that this movie's rated R, even though it's just feels good, whatever.
Is it really?
Oh wow.
Because it's just like the casual R, where it's like, that's just real life. Like people cuss and it's casual and no one really cares. But like in movies, like that's not okay or whatever. So it's just rated R. But like nothing like bad happens in it. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Yeah, there's not even like drug use or anything.
It's a lot of cussing, I guess. That's all it takes. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I love that like that didn't hold him back from making it PG-13 or something. Like he just made the movie he wanted to make, and I've loved that movie.
Yeah.
I love that about this movie so much, is that it's a passion project through and through. It's so obvious. It's great. I guess another thing I never really brought up was some like hidden kind of, not hidden, but like smaller theme is like how social media being used for bad and being used for good. Like the way that he fucking ruins his whole career with a tweet, but then like at the end the kid is like bringing it back up because he's like telling everyone
Builds a
through it.
career because of it.
This weird little through line about social media that wasn't like prominent, but it was still pretty cool. Yeah, dude. The editing, the acting, this movie is fucking awesome. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to rate it because it's just so interesting. I'm gonna give it an 8.8. Pretty good. Pretty good movie.
Alright.
Nice. Yeah, I'll take it.
8.8 out of 10. All right, so I'll go ahead and take it away. So I think there was a couple of things in this movie that really worked for me. Like Taryn was saying, it's a man creating a passion project about a man creating a passion project, right? Like this movie was so much.
Yo, dog.
Yeah, right. It really was. It was Jon Favreau. You know, I think what I loved is it just felt like very autobiographical, where he got to, and that brings me into the second thing that I really loved about this movie that really worked, was just how real it was. Like all of the dialogue between the characters was like just really believable. I think the relationship that he has with his son, it's children of divorce kind of thing, like that really resonated with me, and it was just very natural. And I think we've talked about like multiple scenes in this movie that were natural, like even the small ones where he's asking his ex-wife if she slept with Robert Downey Jr. after they divorced, and like it's that weird thing where he like wants to know but doesn't really want to know, but he's asking her, and like I don't know, it's just like those types of conversations you just feel are so natural, like so organic, and so yeah, I really love that about this movie. And a lot of the comedy was great. I mean, it was awkward but funny, and it was awkward where it needed to be, and witty where it needed to be. I don't know. I think giving this movie though like a really high rating, it just for me it just doesn't feel right because this movie doesn't feel like this crazy like really standout movie, you know? And I totally get how why Jay resonates with this movie so much, but like after I watched this I was like, yeah, that was a pretty cool movie. That was pretty cute. Like I don't know that I'll watch it again, and I definitely didn't hate it. I really enjoyed it. I don't know if I would go as far as to say that I loved it, but I also agree with Taryn that like there probably aren't enough movies like this. That just those feel good movies, and they don't need to be tens, right? Like they could just be solid eights and still be a great movie, and that's where I feel like I'm at. Is that it's a solid 8. You know, I liked it. It's a feel good movie. It's fun. Watch it.
Yeah.
So me with an
Yeah, that's a
8
good score.
brings us at an 8.65. So
Not
floating
bad.
around an 8.5. Sorry,
Right.
Jay. This one was never going to make it to the Hall of Fame. I think you know.
Oh, I
that.
knew that.
But it's a Hall of Fame in your heart, so that's what counts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody above an 8 is good enough for me, dude.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Pretty solid.
Yeah. It's a good
Yeah.
movie. It's a good movie. All right, that about does it for us. Tune in next week where we will be reviewing The Big Lebowski. Super excited for that one. We got a nice little Fumbled Not Stirred thing hopefully being released around that time, so stay tuned for that. Find all of our socials, filmfumblers.com. Be sure you are following or subscribe to our YouTube channel where you could watch all of these videos, but also our other little ventures, our other little passion projects that we're doing there. So yeah, subscribe to us on YouTube, and yeah, I think that about does it. We will see you guys next time. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
See ya.
Cheers.
Cheers.